Welcome to Samavia Tales. If you love gripping stories, twists you never see coming, and endings that hit hard, you're in the right place. Grab a snack, sit tight. This one's going to get interesting.
You ever have a moment that hits you so hard your stomach flips because you realize you are not alone, even though you should be? Before I tell you what happened, do me one favor. If you love creepy true stories that keep you awake at night, make sure to like this video and subscribe. Trust me, what you're about to hear is something you won't forget. My name's Claire. I grew up in southern Pennsylvania in a house that my parents owned for almost 20 years. Old place, built in the early 1900s with creaky floors, tall windows, and this draft that always came from the attic no matter the season. When you grow up in a house like that, you get used to noises. Pipes groaning, floorboards shifting, the occasional knocking from wood expanding or contracting. But there are some noises, some moments you never get used to. I was 16 when it happened, a junior in high school, and my parents had gone away for the weekend for an anniversary trip. I stayed home because I had a project due Monday and a part-time job I couldn't skip. Everything was normal the first night. Quiet, peaceful. I stayed up too late watching movies, fell asleep on the couch, and woke up with the TV still running. Around 3:40 a.m. At first, I didn't notice anything strange, just the TV flickering softly in the dark. But when I reached for the remote, I froze, because the volume was turned almost all the way down, even though I knew I fell asleep with it loud enough that the neighbors once complained. I brushed it off. Maybe I hit the remote in my sleep. Maybe it auto-lowered. I didn't think too hard about it. But then I heard footsteps. Slow, heavy, coming from upstairs. I sat perfectly still. We had no pets, no siblings. Nobody else was supposed to be in the house. The steps moved across the upstairs hallway. 1, 2, 3, and then stopped directly above the living room, right over my head. I held my breath. And then, whatever it was, started dragging something, like wood scraping across old floorboards. I remember whispering to myself, "No, no, no, no," because the sound was so clear, so distinct, that it couldn't be anything but real. I grabbed my phone and called my mom, even though I knew she wouldn't answer, and she didn't. Straight to voicemail. I told myself to move, to get up, unlock the front door, run to the neighbors, but my body wouldn't cooperate. I stayed frozen on that old leather couch while the dragging sound upstairs slowly stopped. Then silence. I stayed awake until the sun came up, lights on, heart pounding. In daylight, everything felt less threatening. I convinced myself the noise was the house settling, or maybe something fell over. That day passed too normally. I cleaned, I studied, I worked a shift at the local grocery store. I didn't think about the sounds again. But that night, things got worse. Before I continue, if you're still listening, hit that like button and subscribe. It helps the channel so much. And trust me, the next part of this story is where things take a turn you won't expect. I went to bed early that night, determined not to fall asleep on the couch again. I locked my bedroom door, something I rarely did, and crawled under the covers. I left a small lamp on because the darkness felt wrong in a way I can't fully explain. It must have been around 1 a.m. when I woke up to the sound of soft tapping on the wall. Not the window, the wall, right next to my bed. Tap, tap, tap. I bolted upright. The tapping stopped instantly. The house was quiet, completely still. I listened for a long time, convincing myself it was just branches outside or a mouse in the walls. I even leaned over and put my ear to the plaster. Silence. I tried to go back to sleep. I managed maybe 10 minutes before I heard the tapping again, this time directly behind my headboard. Harder, faster, urgent. Tap, 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 tap. I scrambled out of bed so fast I tripped over my own blanket. I pressed my back against the opposite wall, shaking. It was too rhythmic, too intentional, too close to be an animal. Then it stopped. And for a few seconds, the whole house held this unnatural waiting stillness. A whisper followed. A whisper from inside the wall. Just one word. Claire. I don't remember grabbing my phone. I don't remember unlocking the door. I only remember bolting down the stairs, running outside barefoot into the freezing air, and calling 911 with my hands shaking so hard the phone almost slipped. When the police arrived, they searched the house top to bottom. Both officers said the same thing. There's no one here, all the doors and windows were locked from the inside. I told them about the footsteps, the dragging, the whisper. One of the officers softened his voice and asked if there was someone I knew who might be messing with me. A boyfriend maybe, a friend with a spare key. I told him no, absolutely not. They stayed until I calmed down and suggested I go stay with a neighbor for the night. I did. And for hours, I watched the house from their guest bedroom window. Lights off, windows still, everything appearing perfectly normal, like nothing had happened at all. My parents came home the next afternoon. I expected them to panic, or at least worry, but they brushed it off. My mom told me I was stressed. My dad said old houses are loud. They promised to check the walls, the attic, the foundation, everything, but not immediately. They had just come home from a trip and were tired. I didn't sleep in that house again for weeks, but eventually things settled down. Nothing strange happened. No footsteps, no tapping, no whispers. It was almost enough to convince me I imagined the whole thing. Almost. 3 months later, my dad decided it was time to renovate the upstairs hallway. The wood was warped, some boards loose. He wanted to replace them. The day he pulled them up, I was in the kitchen eating cereal when he yelled my name with a tone I had never heard before. Not scared, not angry. Something worse. I ran upstairs. He was standing in the hallway, pale, holding a small piece of folded paper in his hand. "This was under the floorboards," he said quietly. He handed it to me. The paper was yellowed and brittle, like it had been there for decades. On the outside, in neat handwriting, was a name. My name. Claire. But here's the thing. The handwriting was old. Old-fashioned cursive. Not mine. Not my parents. Not anyone I knew. I opened it. Inside was a single sentence. "I live here too." I dropped the paper like it burned me. My dad kept saying, "It's a prank. It has to be a prank." But his voice said he didn't believe it. My mom tried to convince us it was from a previous homeowner, some weird joke left behind. But jokes don't explain whispers or footsteps. or tapping from inside the walls. That night, I didn't sleep. Neither did my dad. Around 2 a.m., the hallway outside my room creaked, loud enough that we both heard it. We met in the hall, both of us wide-eyed and whispering, "Did you hear that?" The floorboards creaked again. Not settling, not randomly. They creaked in a pattern, like footsteps. Slow, deliberate, approaching us. My dad grabbed a flashlight. We stood shoulder to shoulder, staring down the dark hallway, waiting for something, anything, to appear. The creaking stopped. The silence pressed in. Then, from the far end of the hall, we both heard it. A whisper. Not mine, not his. A low, breathy voice that said, "Still here." My dad shoved me back into my room, slammed the door, and told me to call 911. While I dialed, he stood in the hall, holding the flashlight like a weapon. The police came again, searched again, found nothing again. But this time, my dad didn't argue. He didn't make excuses. We moved out 3 weeks later. My parents sold the house at a loss just to get rid of it. They told the buyers that the place needed repairs. They didn't tell them about the noises, or the note, or the whispers. To this day, sometimes when I'm lying awake at night, I'll hear phantom tapping. Soft, distant, not quite real. And every time, it makes my skin crawl. Because even though we left the house, I don't think whatever was there ever stopped looking for us. And before you go, if stories like this creep you out in the best way, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. You don't want to miss the next one. Trust me.